Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this card making tutorial. This is the very simple card we're making today. It features the beautiful Ordinary Designer Series paper as well as the Scalloped Blooms dies that I've used to make these sort of blooms here around this very bright and happy thank you card. So this card here, card base, is Melon Mambo, and then I've used Petal Pink for my florals as well. So I'm going to set that aside out of harm's way, and we're going to start on this one here. So our card base this time is going to be Pretty Peacock. I'm sorry if there's a noise from outside. It is 33 degrees in Lincoln when I'm filming, and I've just got to have the window open, otherwise this room is just too stuffy with the door closed. So I do apologise for any noise that you might hear. Right, so I should say all the measurements and the supply list will be on the blog post on my website, so don't worry about trying to write that down. So then I'm going to put this piece down here on the front, and as I said, this is a beautiful Ordinary Designer Series paper. And I'm going to just plonk that there. And then this one I want to cut 2 triangles. So I'm going to bring my trimmer. I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to do it roughly where I want it to go. So we're going to have one there, and then one in this other corner. There, I'll save that for scrap. So now I've got 2 triangles, and you can pop these up or you can leave them flat. I'm going to leave them flat because I'm going to pop up other elements. And let's see, you know what, I want something else here. Let me go to my bag of scraps and see what I've got with me up here. So here I've got a little bag of scraps. Aha, that will do fine. That's exactly what I wanted. I am going to just trim here 2 thin strips of gold foil. Just about 1 centimetre wide. And then just putting some pieces down here. Trying to be as careful with it as I can. So now I'm just going to layer this. So I've just got a thin border. I always like the border to be underneath, which is why I cut it a bit bigger. You could do it on top, just like that, and then the other one the same, and this is just going to give us that extra something, that je ne sais quoi. Right, let's cut off anything that's sticking out the edge. And those bits here. And then I'm just going to stick this down. Don't like to use wet glue with gold foil sheet because I find it, if it splodges out, it doesn't look good on the gold foil, so that's why I use the wet glue for that. Dry glue for that. That looks nice, I like that. Okay. And then I'm going to put another piece here, so you only see a little bit of the back of the other Designer Series paper. You could gut the paper as well, so that you save some of it. Just making sure everything lines up nicely. There we go. I like that. Right. I have here another piece of the paper and I'm wondering which one I'm going to use. The white. Actually I'm going to use this side, I don't know, I just like it. Now this is a retired punch, but you could use any punch, any tag punch you've got, or you could just make the tag yourself. It's not difficult. And I'm just going to get rid of these bits, and then I am going to just cut this tag down slightly because it's a bit too long. It's 2 inches wide, and then you can make it as long or short as you wish. So I'm going to have it there. I think that looks nice, and I think I also want to just mat this on a little bit of cardstock, and I'm just going to cut around this. So I'm going to put some glue down, and this is Pretty Peacock, and I'm just going to mat it on that, just like that. Then you could use your trimmer to cut round here, or you can do as I'm going to do and just use your scissors. There we go, and we have a little border for our tag. And now I just want to put this hole back in here. So I'm just going to see if I have a punch to do that. I thought I did, but maybe I don't. No, I do. I've got this little hole punch. So I'm just going to line that up with that hole and put it back in. There we go. And I'm just going to check how I lined it up very well. There we go. Okay, and this I am going to pop up on some foam adhesive sheet. There's some there. So firstly, this isn't, the Stampin' Up one is two-sided. The one I'm using isn't. I do have Stampin' Up. Where it is anyone's guess. I think it's fallen on the back of a drawer. So there it is going to stay, unfortunately, until I have time to sort it out. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to put this side down first, and then I'm going to put this next side down. I need a bit more. Maybe it is double, maybe it is a Stampin' Up one, because it is sticky on both sides. Who knows? This one isn't, but that bit was. I don't know. This bit isn't sticky on both sides, but that bit was, so I don't know. So much easier when it's sticky on both sides. I haven't got a clue. The moment my craft room is half downstairs and half upstairs in my filming room, because my mother's been very unwell. She had a bad fall and she hasn't been out the house for a month, and I'm looking after her, so I sort of got, she's spending a lot of time upstairs, so I've had to move things temporarily, and so everything is higgledy-piggledy, to say the least. Right, so there we have our tag. Right, so now we can do something with the rest of our bits. So I'm going to show you two stamp sets. This is a dice roll, the Scalloped Blooms, and I used 3 smaller scallops, and then I used the foliage here from the Boutique Blossoms dies to make my pieces, and they're in Pool Party and Petal Pink. So let's see, we can have one there. Yeah, I like that. So let's stick some stuff down before we forget. Right. I'm going to put a bit of glue, not much, so I can tuck things in again. And then I'm going to put a bit of glue on the centre here. And then again in the centre there. And then let's see, how do I want this to go? And yeah, that's nice. And then I think we need to have something down here. In this corner here. And then I thought I had another blue piece. Where's it gone? Here it is, right in front of me, and I can't see it. Yeah, I like that better. Right, now I'm going to put down some foliage, and I'm just going to use this fine tip glue that I have. It's all gunked up. However hard I try, I still get glue gunked up as I don't give it a little clean before I put it down. Just can't remember to do it. It's not part of the habit, unfortunately. I don't know whether you do. You find your glue is always gunked, or is it just me who's a twit and is always struggling with gunked up glue? So let's put some leaves down, just very plain neutral coloured leaves so that they don't clash with anything else, and it does match the white in some of the pattern paper as well. And then this last one here, I'm going to have coming down from here, I think. Just going to tuck it in there. Okay, and then finishing touches, I'm going to use some rhinestones if I can find them. Okay, here they are. I think I'm going to use the large ones this time. One in there, one in there. I like that, it just seems to set things off. And then I'm going to put one somewhere just so I have a visual triangle there. Okay, and then I'm going to just set that aside, and we're going to look for a sentiment. And these are greetings. What are these? The greetings for all ephemera pack. Look for a nice sentiment. think I've just seen what I want to use. Thanks, I like that. It's going to stand out really nice. So I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals as well. Why not? I'm just going to use the edges because it makes my life easier. Okay, so take the backings off, and there we go. That's better. So there we go. There are two styles. Fun cards, bright and happy thank you cards, featuring the Scalloped Blooms dies and the Boutique Blossoms dies, as well as the beautiful Ordinary Designer Series paper from Stampin' Up. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I said, all the measurements and supplies will be on the blog post. And if you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it that big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.